Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the stream. Today, we arrive at Silverstone for round three of Division 2 here in Season 4 in DER. We're just waiting for the rest of the grid to join the lobby. I think we had some issues, unfortunately, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. So, for those of you who watched the Season 3 Division 1 finale just a few short weeks ago, you would have heard that my future commentating here was up in the air, but as of now, I am your new Division 2 commentator, so you better get used to me for the next couple months, as I will be mainly doing the commentating duties here in Division 2. I'm very excited. Obviously, I haven't been with this group as much as Division 1, so it'll be cool to get to know all these drivers and hopefully commentate on a magnificent season. That being said, let's take a look at the standings through the first two rounds. So your Drivers' Championship leader at the moment is Kev the Slice after a P3 finish at round 1 in Monza and a win last time out at Australia. In second place, we have Nathan. And in third place, we have Super Sean. I don't think Nathan or Kev the Slice are here at the moment. Oh, Nathan is here. He's in the Aston Martin. S_Nathwani. Might have to confirm his name. I don't know if it's actually Nathan. That's going to be a tough one. I'll call him Nathan for now. But yeah, Kev the Slice, not currently in the lobby. Super Sean is here. So, with a good result here today, Nathan should be able to leapfrog Kev the Slice at the top of the driver's table, only being 10 points back. Moving on to the constructor standings, in first place we have Ferrari with 73 points. Not too far behind in second place we have Aston Martin with 70 points. And tied for third place with 50 points each, we have Alpine and Williams. So it is very early. Of course, this is also a longer season than normal. Usually we've done 12 race seasons in the past. This season is going to be 16 races. So if you're in it for the long haul, and it's going to be a fight to the very end. I think this way it gives everyone a fair chance at the championship, because if you miss a lot of races or you just have a slow start, it's very difficult to work your way back into championships when the season isn't very long. So let's hope that these changes have a positive difference, and we should be getting ready to go soon for round 3 here at Silverstone. I think we're just waiting for Queasy to choose his car, and then we can get going. So racing here today, we've got Motion God, DJ Lawson, Super Sean, Blue Dark, Nick. Oh, I want to say Roberto, but he's Italian, so it must be Roberto. Expedito, Ishi, Nathan, Bartofor, Pixel Cookie, Firefly, Waza, and Queasy. Clear skies for qualifying here at Silverstone, which I'm sure will be to the delight of the grid. Of course, rain is not out of the question at Silverstone. We've seen rain here before, particularly last season in Division One, also in real life. All right, perfect. If you can hear me, please clap once. If you can hear me, please confirm in the chat. We've got most of the grid on an out lap here. Currently viewing Super Sean as he makes his way towards Stowe Corner. And the first driver out on a lap is Queasy in the Red Bull. Currently on board with him. Perfect, Sir Bouillet. I'm doing great, man. How are you? I thank you for filling in for me last week. That was clutch. Hello, Ghosted. It is I, Mookie. Good to hear that, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the first time I'm commentating as Queasy cuts the corner there at Beckett's and invalidates. So that, yeah, this is my first time commentating Division Two this season. So hopefully we have a good group of drivers this season who will make it much entertaining for myself. Yeah, sick, man. I saw that. I saw that. Have fun. That is the esports series, right? As Motion God puts the fastest time on the board for now, 1 minute 27.7, almost a full second clear of Super Sean in the Red Bull. So that is a very good benchmark time. Let's see what Expedito can do. Up to the line, puts it into second place, 1 minute 28.2. That's very cool, Ghosted. I hope you enjoy that. Nick up to the line now, second place, just shy of the 1 minute 27s. I am very hyped for Season 2 in Gran Turismo in DER, which technically starts tomorrow. It's the preseason test, but the first race will be next Wednesday, November 6th. I will not be there for the start. I have school hockey practice, but I should be there for the third race, if not the last race tomorrow. So I'll join midway through at some point. On board with Queasy now. Down the Hamilton straight. 29.0 puts him in P9. I think that's it for now. Maybe Firefly. No. Nick. No. Expedito's boxing. Lazar's invalid. DJ Lawson is invalid. Queasy just finished his lap. He is probably coming in now. Yeah, he's 7 seconds down. Pixel Cookie might be on a lap though. Through Maggots and Beckett's, that looked pretty clean. Onto the power, down the hanger straight, opening the DRS. He's very low on battery. It's not going down for some reason, and he is deploying it. So very interesting stuff. Through Stowe, and he is coming in. Yeah, I think he was off the pace anyways. Ishii starting his first flying lap, actually. I think he might have invalidated the first one. Or maybe this is just his first lap today. Down the Wellington straight, opening the DRS, making it extremely obvious that he's on a controller. Those were very robotic steering movements there. Purple Sector 1 for Ishii. Third gear back onto the power through left field. Yeah. I mean, there's some people on controller that you wouldn't even be able to tell. They're just so smooth with it. I am not one of those people. My driving looks similar to Ishii's here down the straight if I was on a controller. But I'm definitely would be like 5 seconds off these guys on a controller. It's very impressive what these controller drivers can do. It's not even close to being on a wheel. So it's a big disadvantage, and it's impressive to see them keeping up despite that disadvantage. And Ishii goes up to P2, just a 10th shy of Motion God in first place. Blue Dark might be on a lap. I think he is. So is Nathan. We're going to ride on board with Nathan here in the Aston Martin. That looked pretty solid. Through Stowe Corner, up to Vale now. Third gear, get the power down, and up to the line. It's going to be 27.7. He is 0.03 of a second off of P1, so that is a battle that we will look forward to later in this session. Blue Dark, a 1 minute 31, so he is 2 seconds off Wheezy, 1.5 seconds off Pixel Cookie. I'm not sure if that's his actual pace or if that was just a bad lap from him, but we will wait and see if he can improve his time later in this session. Think Roberto might be on a lap. He is on a lap. He's 700ths up on his previous time in the Aston Martin. Gets the power down nice and early through Luffield. Approaching Copse Corner now. Let's see if he takes it flat out. Through Copse. It is flat out for Roberto. It's going through Maggots and Beckett's now. Hitting the apex. Slight snap of the rear there. That looked very, very clean indeed. He's a 10.5 up, and he's just set the purple middle sector. Approaching Stowe Corner now. Let's see how he can round out this lap. He's currently in P10 with a 1 minute 28.9, 1.2 seconds off of first place. Gets the power down. Approaching the line now. It's a 28.3, 0.6 up, and he gains a couple positions now up into P8. Solid lap from Roberto. Pixel Cookie is also on a lap. Just barely up on his previous time. He's currently in P12 with a 1 minute 29.5. Oh, goes a little bit too deep into Chapel. That would have compromised his exit down into the hangar straight, but he is a 10th up on his previous time, as we can see on the top right-hand side of your screen. 6th gear now through Stowe Corner, using all the track that's available. Hard braking into Vale, 3rd gear. Get the car rotated, get the power down. Overtake enabled, up to the line. A 1:29.5. Improves his time, but not his position. Firefly is also on a lap. I don't think he got blocked there by that McLaren. He moved over to try and catch some slipstream, actually, going into Copse Corner. He was up on his time. Let's see what his Sector 2 split is. He's 99 thousandths up, and he set the purple middle sector as well. He's only 1.5 tenths off provisional pole. Let's see what Firefly can do here. With a solid 3rd sector, he can put it on provisional pole. 2nd gear, got it slowed down nice and quickly. Puts the power down, up through the gears and up to the line. It's provisional pole for Firefly, 1 minute 27.614, 1.5 tenths ahead of Motion God. Motion God only set the one lap, the 27.7, so I'm sure he will be coming out shortly to cover off that lap from Firefly. Let's see if Wazza is on a lap. Going down the Wellington Straight. He is on a lap, and he is barely gaining on his previous attempt. 7 thousandths up. Little lift there through Copse Corner. Through Maggots and Beckett's now. That looked very, very neat and tidy for Waza. Sector 2 split time, he's up by almost 6/10 of a second, and he's just set the purple middle sector as well, as we have seen so many drivers do so far in this session. He's going through Stowe Corner now with a good third sector. He can put it on provisional pole as well. Let's see what he does now. Gets the power down, barely inside track limits, up to the line for Waza. He lost a bit of time in the last sector, but he is up in the P5, 1 minute 27.8. And Queasy is just a little bit down on his time. He's a 10th down through the middle sector. Let's see if he can pick up some time to the final sector. He's currently 3/10 behind DJ Lawson in 10th place. Oh, he went a little bit too hot into that corner, hit the sausage curb, went wide, and as a result, he loses even more time, unfortunately for him. Blue Dark improves his time, but not his position. He is still sat in P13 at the moment. Everyone except for the Bartow has set a lap so far, and as we have said that, the Bartow comes out of the pits for his first flying lap. Roberto 2.5 tenths up, currently in P8 after that previous flying lap where he gained a couple positions, but he has a big snap of oversteer through Chapel, and that has surely ruined his lap. Yeah, and he hasn't gained. And I don't think that was a very good job through Abby either, so that might be Roberto's qualifying over here at Silverstone. So Ghost, I'm just reading your messages now. Yeah, you are very smooth with it on the controller, I must say. So you are one of the people who are do a good job on your controller. Motion God, good call. Motion God is on his flying lap. He is 1/10.5 up through the first sector. He's currently 1/10.5 behind Firefly for first place. He set the fastest warm-up lap. Let's see if he can set the pole lap here at Silverstone. This will probably be his last run. That looked very nicely indeed. That looked very nice indeed through Maggots and Beckett's. He's 1/10.5 up still. So this is going to be very tight with Firefly. 5th gear through Stowe Corner. Maybe could have gotten the power a little bit earlier there. Up towards Vale. Late on the brakes. First gear. Short shift up to 3rd. Get on the power. Is it pole position for Motion God? It's not! He improves by 0.5 tenth, but he is still 0.08 short of Firefly. Let's see what Nathan can do. He's the next driver in line. He's currently in 4th place, and he's currently 1/10.5 behind Firefly. Ishii improves to P2, knocking Motion God down into P3. Oh, Nathan goes a bit deep into Chapel Corner. I don't think this is going to be it either. Bartow on his only flying lap blows Firefly's time out of the water and takes pole position by 3/10 of a second. So surely Nathan will not be matching that. Maybe Waza or Super Sean. Up to the line now for Nathan in the Aston Martin. It's P2, 1 minute 27.4. He actually gained a lot of time through the third sector, but unfortunately for him, it was not enough for pole. And that will round out the grid. So we had quite a thrilling end to qualifying there. The Bartofor had a great pace that he wasn't showing, and he's been able to use that pace to take pole position here. If anybody watching has anything they would like to talk about, D1 and DER, D2 and DER, real life F1, anything, feel free to type some messages in the chat. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. Pole position for Silverstone in Division 2 goes to the Bartofor with a 1 minute 27.336. After him, we have Nathan, Firefly, Nick, Ishii, Motion God, Waza, Super Sean, Expedito, Roberto, DJ Lawson, Pixel Cookie, Queasy, and Blue Dark. You got the C7. I'm going to be honest. I drove the C7. This is Gran Turismo, for those who aren't aware. Me and Ghosted are talking about. I drove the C7 at the circuit experience at Willow Springs, and circuit experience doesn't have balance of performance, and it actually felt really good in the circuit experience. So, before I knew the cars that I had available to me when it was my turn to choose, I was thinking that I was going to go for the C7, but as soon as I bought it and I tested it with BOP, it was terrible. I think it might actually be worse than the Mustang, but only time will tell. So yeah, the Honda is actually pretty nice. I'm liking it so far. It has your anticipated mid-engine swap, which is common in the mid-engine Group 3 cars, but it is manageable on fresh tires. So hopefully this car doesn't give me too many issues. And the light has gone green for the formation lap. Right now we don't have a commentator. I have to talk to Touchkey about it, honestly. Because I know that they Touchkey and Divine pay the commentators because it's a service to the league. So I don't know if it's worth it to hire a Gran Turismo commentator, if it's worth it for them. If someone would be able to do it for free, then I would. I don't think there would be any problems with that. And they might even be on board with paying a commentator. I'm not sure. I'm not involved in that side of the league. I just run the GT7 division with like the races and the dates and the cars and all that. But on the actual admin side, I don't really do much. Yeah, but the other issue is there are no spots in the Gran Turismo lobbies for spectators, so the commentator would be potentially taking a driver's spot in the lobby. So if we have a full grid, then there's no room for the commentator. So that is something we would have to address as well. Let's take a look at the tire choices. Medium and soft. Mostly soft. I don't think tire wear is very high here, so that makes sense. Um, the medium runners could probably go medium soft or medium hard, depending on when they make their stop. But I'm assuming the soft runners are going to be going for mediums. Soft hard isn't usually what most people do. And we're off, and Nathan gets an amazing start already, blitzing past the Bartofor into Abbey now. Nathan is your new leader of the Silverstone Grand Prix. Into Village now. Firefly had a look at Bartofor, but didn't go for the move, and we've got contact at the back with Ishii. Super Sean and Expedito going side-by-side contact! Super Sean lost some front wing. Pixel Cookie and DJ Lawson going side-by-side into Brooklyn's. DJ Lawson with the inside line gets the move done, and he's now up in the P9. But it's Nathan who now leads the British Grand Prix. Here in Division 2, we got Waza and Firefly going side-by-side into Cop's corner. Waza backs out. He left the room for Firefly. Firefly went off the track, but thankfully there was no contact between these two. Oh, Expedito looked like he was gaining some speed there down the Hanger Straight, but nothing doing for now. Oh, and Nick has actually made a move on Firefly. He's now up in the P3. Oh! Super Sean had a look into Village. Made the smart choice of not making that dive. That would have been a catastrophic collision. Let's take a look at your risers and fallers through lap 1. Motion God started in 6th place. I didn't even realize Motion God started in 6th place, and he's down to P11 now after being on provisional pole for the majority of qualifying. He's now down to P11, and their biggest gainer through lap 1 was Expedito, who's now up into P6. Oh, Ishii going wide there, and in the process getting overtaken by DJ Lawson. Let's see if he can get this position back in the slipstream, side by side, into Stowe Corner. He has the outside line, which is always a difficult pass, especially at this corner, but he's able to get it done. Ishii gets back up into P8. Bartofor sets the fastest lap of the race on the medium tires, clawing back some ground lost to Nathan on lap 1. Is Nick going to make a move on his teammate here? Bartofor appears to have slowed down for him. Nick is on the soft tires, so it does make sense for Nick to go attack Nathan and for the Bartofor to focus on his own race at the moment. So this is where, for the Bartofor to get the win, or even Nick, doesn't even matter who, for an Alpine to win the race, these two need to work together. They have the advantage because there's two of them and only one Aston Martin, so they can use their tire strategy to their advantage here. They can let Nick attack Nathan, slow him down, and then the Barteau 4, once he moves onto the soft tires, he will have the gap he needs to be ahead of Nathan. Super Sean looks pretty close to Ishii. Ishii actually overtook Super Sean earlier on this lap. He's now up in the P7. Just over a tenth separating these two. Super Sean into Village, takes a look down the inside. Ishii left the room there. Oh, and he sends it into the loop. Very late move there from Super Sean. I don't think Ishii expected it. Thankfully, both drivers didn't gain severe damage from that incident. And Ishii re-sends it down the inside. Super Sean keeping it on the outside. Great battling between these two. And even DJ Lawson is arriving on the scene, overtaking Ishii. Lost a bit of time there, bumping over the curbs. That was a great little scrap between Ishii and Super Sean. I think Super Sean caught Ishii off guard there at the loop corner. There was even some contact though. I think Super Sean understeered into Ishii whilst being on the brakes, and that's what caused the contact. Nick has... Oh, we've missed it. Nick, on the soft compound tires, has gotten up into P1, and even the Barteau 4 is having a look at Nathan. Nathan squeezing Barteau 4 out, leaving him no room on the outside whatsoever. The Barteau 4 very nearly coming a cropper. So the Barteau 4 being able to keep up with these two on the mediums just goes to show how good his pace really is. When he switches onto the soft, assuming that's going to be his strategy call, he will have a significant pace advantage on Nathan and Nick. So we will keep an eye on that as this Grand Prix progresses. Firefly is also gaining on the group at the top three. So Firefly can even challenge for a podium or even a win here. On his soft compound tires, he's going to be able to outpace these three if he can find it. The Barteau 4 breezes past Nathan on the straight, and now we have an Alpine 1-2, and Firefly sends it down the inside as well. Caught Nathan off guard. Nathan has gone from first all the way down to fourth. Firefly now has a look on the inside of Barteau 4, but nothing doing for now. Oh, big slide from the Barteau 4. Barteau 4 drops down to P5. Firefly clips him and breaks part of his front wing. And Nathan is back up into P2. What a change of events there. Oh, and contact as well. At Brooklands, Firefly runs into the back of Nathan, and he's understeering through left field, allowing Waza to go alongside. And he's tagging Waza as well. Firefly being completely oblivious to Waza on his inside. Drama here on lap 6. Motion God is the first driver to pick up a track limits penalty. It's only lap 6, so he's got a long way to go. Look at the overspeed into Stowe corner. Waza has a look down the inside. And he gets the move done on Firefly. Firefly is coming into the pits to replace that front wing. And he speeds in the pit lane, picking up a 10-second time penalty in the process. So that is Firefly's podium hopes vanishing into thin air unless something catastrophic is to occur. DJ Lawson has also picked up a track limits penalty. Nathan gained a lot of time through the first sector there. He's only 2.5 tenths down on Nick in the Alpine. If he can keep it close to him through Maggots and Beckett's, he's going to have a great run down the Hanger Straight and into Stowe corner. Let's see how he does through Maggots and Beckett's, flat out. Small dab of the brakes into Chapel, 5th gear. Nick has gone wide. He might have picked up a warning for that. 2 tenths separating these two. Nathan's going to turn on the battery and sail past the Alpine driver back up into the lead. Nick has appeared to have lost some time there through the final corner, and it has allowed Waza to get alongside and overtake through Abbey corner. Waza up in the P2. Nick has a look down the inside, but doesn't go for it. We've seen a lot of drivers do that so far in this race. Ishii is the next victim of track limits. Let's see what Waza can do here. 3 tenths back of Nathan. He's going to sail past using the overtake button. The overtake button appears to be extremely powerful today. I'm not sure if this is normal or not, but that seemed way too easy for the McLaren driver as the Alpines are battling side by side. I think Nick's soft tires are starting to go off now, and the Bartow 4, for the first time since being overtaken by Nick, has gotten back past him. So this is where the soft compound runners, being Waza and Nathan. Beautiful move by Nathan. Down the inside, Waza leaves the space. That was a nice little sneak down the inside, and he's back up into the lead. As I was saying, the 2 soft compound runners, being Waza and Nathan, if they can keep Bartow 4 behind and slow him down a bit, then it might change things here in this British Grand Prix. The ideal scenario for the Bartow 4 would be that Waza and Nathan pit as soon as possible so that he doesn't have any traffic. But he has just cleared Nathan. He only has 1 more car ahead of him, and if he can overtake Waza, then the pit stop strategies of the other drivers isn't his concern anymore. We're going to ride on board with Nathan for a little bit here. He's been saving his battery. He's currently on 90% ERS. Bartofor at 25. Waza at 43. Nick, who's dropped back a bit, is at 65. Only 1.5 tenths between the Bartofor and Waza. The Bartofor doesn't really have much battery to play with. He's going side by side with Waza. Oh! Contact between the McLaren and the Alpine. Waza's front tire clipped the rear tire of Bartofor, but thankfully both drivers were able to keep it on the road. And Nick is the first driver to make it into the pit lane for a tire change, not for a front wing change. Let's see what tires he chooses. I am expecting the mediums, and it is the mediums. Bartofor was able to gain enough time through the final sector on lap 10 and the first sector on lap 11 to not need any defending down the Wellington Straight just then. So it is pretty safe to say the Bartofor is now in control of this race, pulling away from Waza. 6 tenths is the gap. On board now with Nathan. He's saving his battery, so he could have easily deployed that ERS and gotten past Waza, but he's opted to keep conserving as the Bartofor makes a fake move into the pit lane, which prompts Nathan to make his stop. So this isn't a bad thing for the Aston Martin driver. He's undercutting Waza, and with a good outlap will most likely be able to overtake. The problem is, on these older medium tires, he's going to have a huge disadvantage to the Bartofor when he stops for his fresh softs. So in the midst of all this battling, Motion God has been able to regain some time. He's now battling with Super Sean for the final step on the podium. He does have that 3-second time penalty, but he is only about 4 seconds off the lead right now, and he hasn't made his pit stop yet. So don't rule out Motion God just yet. He's 3 tenths off Super Sean as they go through Cop's Corner. Pixel Cookie picks up a penalty. That's his first penalty of this race. He's really redlining the engine through the downshifts. 2.5 tenths behind. He's got a full battery, 94%, and he opts to keep it behind Super Sean. Some interesting strategy from Motion God. Super Sean boxes anyways, but Motion God could have easily made the pass there and decided not to. So Motion God will now occupy the final position on the podium. 3.8 seconds up the road is Waza, and 4.4 seconds up the road is the Bartofor. So if he can nail his final few laps here on the medium compound tires, he has a real shot at giving the Bartofor a fight for the win. So Nathan has just came out of the pits just behind Nick. So Nick used the undercut to his advantage, pitting a couple laps before Nathan, and was able to get track position on him, but Nathan will use those fresh tires to his advantage and regain that place. He's up in the P6. That's a good exit, though, from Nick. I don't know if Nathan used any battery there, but he lost some top-end speed. Nick did. Waza, I believe, is in the pits, if I'm looking at this correctly. He is, and so is Motion God. Waza did 13 laps on those soft compound tires. Motion God pits for hards. So Motion God is running a medium hard strategy. I'm not sure if that was the right call. He is the only one who pitted at the optimal time, who's running a medium hard. Halfway through this race, Bartofor seems to have everything under control so far, but there have been some recent developments. Motion God has been gaining some time, and Waza has came out of the pits 3.5 seconds behind Nick and Nathan. So that is the undercut at its full potential, ladies and gentlemen. That's just how much time Waza lost from staying out those extra couple laps. And he's under huge amounts of pressure from Super Sean behind him as well. Super Sean lost a bit of time through the S's, but if he keeps this pace up, has a great chance to overtake the McLaren driver. Let's ride on board with Expedito. We haven't really seen back of the grid a lot this race. He's currently battling with Queasy in the Red Bull. They're both on relatively fresh medium tires. And now everyone except for Blue Dark and the Bartofor have made their pit stops. There's Ishii just coming out of the pits ahead of Queasy, but I'm not sure if those soft tires are going to last the 11 laps that he's asking of them. So we will see what Ishii does later on in this race. Ishii coming out of the pits has allowed Queasy to get the DRS boost. That will not be in Expedito's favor, and that will make his overtaking quest that much more difficult. Firefly picks up yet another penalty. He picked up the 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and now he's got a track limits penalty, meaning he is on a total of 13 seconds. Ishii picks up his third track limits penalty of this race, putting him on 9 seconds. Rewind into Stowe corner. Ishii makes up 2 positions in 1. That was a bit scary indeed, but great job by Ishii, Roberto, and Blue Dark to keep all their cars on the track. And Expedito has gone past Queasy into Vale. So I'm going to flip back to the lead of this race, where Nathan and Nick have been battling for the past few laps. The Bartofor has made his pit stop, onto soft tires. So this is now very interesting. He's 3 seconds behind Nick and Nathan, and Waza behind him has DRS. So if Waza can keep up, the Bartofor is going to drag him to the battle at the front, and we could potentially have a four-way battle for the win of this race. Because to be completely honest, I highly doubt that those soft tires on the Bartofor's car are going to make it to the end. Meaning he's going to have to drive a lot slower than he probably should be in the last couple of laps. So he may have the pace now, but near the end, it is going to be very, very close indeed. And he's not even gaining that much. He's 3.2 behind the leaders. When he came out of the pits, it was 3.6. So this has become very, very interesting here on lap 17. Nick and Nathan still jostling for the lead of this race. Oh, and he takes some gravel there on the left-hand side of his car. Surely that slowed him down a bit. But he's still within half a second of Nathan in front of him. And the DRS uses a quick burst of ERS. He's going to go down the inside and take the lead of this race. And he goes wide at Stowe Corner. I'm not sure if that was an illegal overtake or a warning, but Nick has gone too deep into Stowe Corner there. Pixel Cookie is the first retirement of this race. I think that was a manual retirement because the AI is now in control of his car, which will not bring out the safety car. A safety car is the last thing that Nick and Nathan need. It would allow the Bartofor to catch up to them, and it would take a couple laps off the race, meaning that the Bartofor's tires won't be as bad by the end. So we could be watching the battle for the race win right here. I'm going to be honest, I don't think the Bartofor is going to have a shot because I don't think he made the right strategy call. If he was going to go to softs, I think he should have stayed out a little bit longer. Nathan going around the outside contact. Nick didn't leave the space there. I don't think he was obliged to leave space anyways, because that was a bit of a late move from Nathan. Nonetheless, it was a beautiful one. But all this battling has now allowed the Bartofor to get into DRS. So those tires are only 3 laps old. They are definitely quicker than these mediums. But by lap 24, 25, 26, I think we're going to see Nick and Nathan have the upper hand. And like we predicted, Waza has been dragged in the DRS, and he is in the fight as well. Super Sean technically is too, but he's got the penalty. So we're going to watch a 4-way battle for the race win here at Silverstone. Nathan goes down the inside and retakes the lead into Brooklands. This is shaping up to be an extraordinary finish here at the British Grand Prix. Here we go. Nick has the overspeed. So does the Bartofor. The Bartofor has a look down the inside into Stowe corner, but he lets his teammate have it. Nick goes deep once again into Stowe, but he's got the lead of this race. It's an Alpine 1-2 once more. Let's see if Nathan tries to regain that second place. He doesn't go for it. Into Village, decides not to fight the soft compound running Bartofor. And the Bartofor just doesn't have the overspeed down the Wellington Straight to make a move. So, oh, and Nick has gone deep. Nick goes deep through left field. But he's able to get the better exit and keep the lead of this race. This is a thrilling finale to this race. The top 4 drivers are separated by 0.8 of a second. Top 5 are separated by 1 second. Look at that. Here we go. Is this it for the Bartofor? He's breezing past his teammate down the straight, and the Bartofor on the soft compound tires has regained the lead of the British Grand Prix. If he can pull away and get out of DRS, then this is his race win. If he struggles to find the pace on his aging soft compound tires, he is in danger of losing P1 by the end. These next couple of laps are crucial for the Bartofor if he can take this win or not. Nathan has dropped all the way down to P5 and he's out of DRS of Super Sean. So he will gain that position from penalties. But what was originally looking like a bid for the win has now fallen into a P5 finish. I know that there are other battles going on in other spots of the track, but this is the one we're focused on right now. I did my best to get some camera time for everyone on the track today. I hope I had at least some for everyone. But with you don't get too many finishes like this, so I want to make sure that we have the best entertainment possible here today. Nick is doing a good job keeping in DRS of his teammate. If he can keep this up, then he's going to have a real chance of regaining the lead on the last few laps. Four and a half laps remain here at Silverstone. 6.5 tenths between the Bartofor and Nick. 9 tenths between Wazar and Nick. That is true. Nathan appears to be losing some time. He's 2.5 tenths behind Super Sean. Super Sean, I believe it's only 3 seconds. It is only 3 seconds. So that would also help his title hopes. Being in third place in the championship, all the points count. And a P4 finish would definitely benefit Super Sean rather than P5, sorry. Here we go then with Waza. Waza is overtaking Nick, and Waza is making a late bid for the win here at Silverstone. The gap is flirting with the DRS margin of 1 second here on lap 23. If Waza can keep it in the DRS, he has 3 more laps to make this move and take this win. The pressure is all on the Bartofor now. With aging soft tires and a relatively low ERS level, it's all up to him whether he can take this victory or not, as Nick has a great run on Waza after exiting the loop. Let's see if he can retake second place here. Side by side into Brooklands, down the inside, and that was a pretty simple pass for the Alpine driver, but they all count. Waza's coming back at him though, down the inside into left field. What a move from Waza. He couldn't stick the exit, and he bumps over the curbs there. But that could have been second place for Waza. All this battling has allowed the Bartofor to extend his lead. He is now 1.7 seconds clear. And Nick, in the middle of lap 24 with 2.5 laps remaining, has picked up a 3-second time penalty. He can drop to as low as P5 here. Super Sean can stand on the podium if he can pass Nick and make sure he's got a 3-second gap to Nathan. Nathan can even get back onto the podium if he can keep it within 3 seconds of Nick and Sean. This is what we're watching now, the battle for P3. Nick, Super Sean, and Nathan. Super Sean goes wide. The Wellington Straight was probably his best chance to overtake Nick. It's not going to come easy because he has DRS to Waza. So 4 tenths separate the Red Bull and the Alpine. Nathan is right on the cusp of 3 seconds as it stands. Every corner counts. This can mean the difference between P3 and P5. On board with Super Sean, he had a good run through Maggots and Beckett's. He's right on the gearbox of Nick. He's not burning his battery. It is still lap 25. We still have 1 more lap to go. He's going to go for it on the final lap of this race. Nathan appears to be struggling. He's got 1 more lap to try and claw back as much time as possible. Nick appears to be struggling as well. It just seems that Super Sean isn't getting good exits out of corners, and it's costing him dearly. Yet again on the Wellington Straight, he didn't have the overspeed, and he wasn't able to make a move. He's running out of corners now to get up onto the podium. Nathan is barely standing on the podium right now. He's literally less than a tenth up on Nick with that penalty. with a good exit here. Super Sean can get it done, and he does get a good exit. Nick has run out of fuel. Oh, it's astonishing. Nick has ran out of fuel. Nathan goes past. Nathan can still stand on the podium if he can keep it within 3 seconds. The Bartol 4 is going to come across the line to win the British Grand Prix. Wazak comes home in P2. Super Sean across the line. Nathan, can he get it done? He can! Nathan up into P3. Nick is crawling to the line, and Motion God gets him at the line. Nick down into P6. Nathan got it done by half a second, and he will stand on the podium here in Great Britain. What a finish that was. Oh, there's chaos! What is happening? What did we just miss? DJ Lawson, Ishii, and Firefly sliding off the track at the final corner. I wish I saw the whole thing. There was too much going on at the front to be able to catch everything on track today. But that was one for the ages. That was a thrilling battle. So there we have it then. The Bartol 4 takes victory at Silverstone. Wazat takes P2 and Nathan takes P3. Going down the rest of the grid, we have Super Sean, Motion God, Nick, Roberto, Expedito, DJ Lawson, Ishii, who took the fastest lap of this race, 1 minute 29.4, Firefly, Queasy, Blue Dark, and Pixel Cookie. Thank you, everyone, for joining the stream today. That was an absolute thriller. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. And we will see you next week for round 4. Bye-bye.